As you may know, on January 21st, 1950, there was a devastating fire here at the Appalachian Theatre that was caused by a malfunctioning popcorn maker located in a room at the back of the stage. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt or killed. Everyone got out safely. But the damage to the theater was pretty dramatic. Essentially, the ceiling of the theater space and the roof of the building burned back and collapsed into the theater, essentially rendering the theater unusable for several months. Now, I tell you this because when we first acquired the theater and came in here to begin doing cleanup, one of the things that puzzled us was this bizarre hole in the floor that you see located here underneath the staircase coming down from the mezzanine. So when we came in here, we were curious about this hole, and we asked one of our skinny volunteers to descend through that hole and see what they could find down in the crawl space underneath the auditorium floor. And our volunteer was down there for a little while and then began handing up old papers, a Parliament cigarette box, some receipts for things related to neighboring businesses, some promotional flyers, all of them dated right around late 1949, early 1950. And then he started handing up to us pairs of shoes. He handed up probably about half a dozen shoes before somebody said, "What is going on down there that there are so many shoes?" And he said, "I don't know, but there must be 40 shoes down here." And we puzzled about that for a really long time. And then we think we figured out what was going on. As I mentioned, there were a lot of advertisements, all of which predated the fire at the theater, but that were from around that same time. And they were adjacent to where these shoes were located. And we think that essentially this became a trash pit during the cleanup of the theater after the fire, so that all those things that were sitting on the floor and hadn't burned got pushed down there, along with all the pairs of shoes that people had kicked off, just as many people do today at the theater, but didn't have time to find in the dark when they were fleeing the theater in the midst of a fire.